Around a big part of the country, there's a fish that's renowned for its spawning ability, if not so much its eating qualities, and it's the Australian salmon. And anglers from Perth through the Great Bight around to Adelaide are really treated because there you get the best of the fishing as well as the bigger ones. I'm about to go and hit a surf beach. There's a whole bunch of salmon sitting over my right shoulder. I'm hoping they come into a gutter at my feet very soon. I've got a whole whack of lures and a bunch of baits to throw at them. If you're interested in tangling with a few Australian salmon, hang around, we'll show you exactly how to do it. Catching fish is always about finding them first. When it comes to your Australian salmon, look for physical signs of fish feeding and hunting. So look for your circling birds, disturbed water, your bait fish. Wherever possible, the darker colorations within the water which usually signal a school pack of salmon. Get yourself a high vantage point, whether you're in the estuary, the bay, or here in the surf. Look deep into that water. Look for those discoloured patches, particularly if they're moving patches. You know you found your salmon, then you just got to get out there, find a way to catch them. This is a classic surf scenario. Whole bunch of salmon feeding close to the shore. You can see all that dark coloured water out there. I've opted to leave the bait behind for a second. Here's a good old metal slug. Put one in the midst. I reckon the chances are looking good. Just let it sink to bottom. Get down in amongst those fish. Once you're down, you start your wind. If they're there, you should be on fairly soon. Oh yeah, this is what we came here for. Woo! You want to spin for your salmon with any sort of lure, and let's face it, it's a great way to catch them. Set yourself up with a rod that's long enough to fish the type of water you're fishing. You can go shorter in the estuaries and the bays and the surf. I've gone for a bit more length, but have one that sits around that 6 to 10, 8 to 12 kilo mark. Slightly lighter in the estuaries if you want. Suitable size thread line reel. Definitely go with the braided line in around that 10 to 20 pound mark. Match her up with leaders anywhere from 14 to 20 pound and a lure that's going to get you out to where those fish are. You're fishing rough waters like this and the fish wants to use that rough water to its advantage and run. Just let it do its thing. Let your drag do the work until such time as you got the fish in a spot where you can control it. Let the waves then push it into a spot where you can safely beach it. And there it is, the Australian salmon, one of our truly great sport fish that you can find in the estuaries, the bays and the surf. The reason that you head to the west coast and the south coast of Australia to chase them, they offer the most amazing fishing for this species and the bigger ones as well. Woo! That's why we love salmon fishing. Hard to beat that. There's a range of lures you can use when you're chasing your salmon. And metal slugs, at the moment I've thrown out one of the Richter plugs, big white thing. It's one of the most versatile lures you can chuck at salmon. You can pop it on the top, fish it slow, fish it quick. It's got plenty of weight, it casts an absolute mile, which means places like this you can reach those hard to get to fish. All in all, a very versatile lure to have in the box. But soft plastics, metal slugs, lures like the Richter, they're all great ones to have in the box if you want to chase a few salmon. There's another benefit with using one of these extremely versatile Richter lures. You simply use it as a tool to pick your fish up out of the surf and carry it away. They're not just great at attracting bites from salmon, pretty handy at the other end as well. Just about to go and chuck a bait for a bunch of marauding salmon, hunting bait fish close to the surf edge. This is a really easy rig to go away and chase them on. It's a ganged hook rig. Got a star-shaped sinker on the bottom to hold position in the surf. Comes up to a swivel, stops line twist, a short dropper, bunch of gangs. We'll mount a pilly on that, put it in front of the fish, see how we go. You can't be fussed making up your own rigs. Head down to BCF, get a pre-made rig so you're ready as soon as you hit the beach. Yeah, there we go. Just goes to show, once you've found your schools of salmon, get a well-presented bait in front of them. He's jumping for me. Get a well-presented bait in front of them, and you're in for a whole lot of fun. You want to hit the surf or the headlands, maybe opt for a slightly longer rod, up in that 12 foot plus range, around 8 to 12 kilos. Load it with a big threadline reel, 20-pound braid, 20-pound monofilament line. Finish it off with a 30-pound leader. And you're in the money. There's a chunky fish. Woo! Look at that. And there's the Australian salmon. If you haven't introduced yourself to this great fighter, high time you did. If you want to hit the west and south coast of Australia, Perth, through the Great Bight round Adelaide, you're going to find some of the best fishing for these guys, as well as the biggest.